Hi there. Today is Thursday, January 16th, 2025, and you're here with me today for the daily reading of the Bible. We are going through the Bible and reading it all in 1 year, and it's going to take us about only 7 minutes a day, plus a little discussion time. We are using our Day by Day Kids Bible, and this has been written by Karen Henley, the author of the Beginner's Bible. It is a great version of the Bible. I love it because it's written in both story format and chronological format. So it is telling us the order of things that happened in the Bible. You may have noticed I am sharing my screen with Kitty today. Today it's Kitty who's up on my lap today. And I can't quite get you his face there, but he may pop up a little more. I have my calendar here, and I have marked off today, Thursday the 16th, to show that I have read my entry today. And if you have your calendar, go ahead and get that out and mark off your day too. If you don't yet have a calendar, then you can download one from my site, and my site will have the link will be in the description for that download down below. It is at inthefamilywaycoaching.com, and it will be under Daily Bible Reading Recordings. If you would like to support this event with either a live event registration or a monthly membership, then I will send you a copy of that calendar as well as a sheet of the stickers that I use for marking off my daily reading. It doesn't matter what you use, and you are, of course, welcome to download the calendar, and you don't have to um, support the event. That's just an option if you feel led to do so. But if you do, I will send you a copy of the calendar on sugarcane paper, as well as a sheet of stickers for the month. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining me today, whether you are on YouTube or listening via a podcast, or whether you are watching on my site today. And I'm glad to hear that everybody is enjoying the pictures that I posted of Kitty and Scooby and Godzilla on my site under my family album page. If you've not yet had a chance to check that out, you can check that out on my site under the family album page on my on the tabs there. Well, yesterday's reading showed us that now Joseph was in charge of Egypt, second only to the Pharaoh, and he had taken a lot of the extra grain that had been growing for 7 years, and now we see that the land is in 7 drought years, and there is no grain growing throughout that hemisphere of the world, that area of the world. So it isn't just Egypt that is suffering from this drought and famine, it's other countries nearby as well. But Egypt has grain because God gave the Pharaoh a dream. And at just the right time, he connected Pharaoh with Joseph so that Joseph could let him know the interpretation that God gave him for the dream. So we're going to pick up and we're going to read from Genesis 42 and 43 today. And the first section of our chapter is called Visitors from Canaan. No crops of grain were growing in the land of Canaan. That's where Joseph's fathers and brothers and their families lived. Joseph's father Jacob heard that Egypt had wheat, so he talked to his sons about it. "Why are you just looking at each other?" he asked. "Go to Egypt and buy some wheat for us." So 10 of Joseph's brothers went to buy wheat. Jacob would not let Benjamin go with them, because Benjamin was the only other child of Rachel, and Jacob was afraid that something bad might happen to Benjamin. It wasn't long before Joseph's brothers got to Egypt, and they went to see the man in charge. He was the one who sold the wheat. He was Joseph. Joseph's brothers bowed to him. Joseph knew who they were right away, but he acted as if he didn't. "Where are you from?" he asked in a mean voice. "We are from Canaan," they said. "We came to buy some food." They had no idea that this man was Joseph. Joseph remembered his dreams from long ago. He said, "I think you came to trick us. You came to see how you can take over this land." "Oh no," they said. "We just came to buy food. We're all brothers. We are good people. We tell the truth. We are not here to trick you." "Yes, you are," said Joseph. But they said, "There used to be 12 of us. Our youngest brother's back in Canaan with our father. One of our brothers is gone." "Just as I said, you are here to trick us," said Joseph. "This is how I will test you. I will not let you leave until your youngest brother comes. One of you must go and get him. The others have to stay here in jail, and I'll find out if you're telling the truth or not." Then Joseph put them all in jail. The test. 3 days went by. Then Joseph told his brothers, "Only one of you must stay. The rest of you may go home. Take wheat with you, but bring your youngest brother back here, and that way I will know you are telling the truth." The brothers began to talk to each other. "This is what we get for being mean to Joseph long ago. We saw how upset he was. He asked us to be kind to him, but we didn't listen." Reuben said, "I told you not to hurt Joseph, but you wouldn't listen, and now we're paying for what we did." They didn't know that Joseph could understand every word they had said. When Joseph talked, he spoke in the language of Egypt, and another person had to tell his brothers what he was saying. But Joseph did know what they were saying, and he had to turn his face away from them. He was starting to cry. In a minute, he turned back around. He chose Simeon to stay in jail, but he let the others go home. Joseph told his helpers to do 3 things. They had to fill his brothers' bags with wheat. They had to put each brother's money back in his bag. They had to give his brothers food for the trip back. Joseph's helpers followed his orders. Then his brothers put their bags on their donkeys' backs, and they started home. That night, Joseph's brothers stopped to rest, and one of them wanted to feed his donkeys. So he opened up his bag to get some wheat, and that's when he saw the money in his bag. "My money has been given back to me," he said. It's right here in my bag." They all looked at each other, and they began to shake with fear. "Oh, what is God doing to us?" they asked. But they kept on going home. And when they got there, they told Jacob about their trip. "This man is in charge of all the land," they said. "He spoke in a mean voice. He said we had come to trick him. He told us we had to bring our youngest brother to Egypt, and then he will know if we are telling the truth about our family." They began to open their bags and dump the wheat out, and they saw each brother's money in his own bag. They were scared. Jacob said, "Joseph is gone. Simeon is in jail in Egypt, and now you want to take Benjamin back with you? Everything is going wrong." "I will take care of Benjamin," said Reuben. "Trust him with me." "No," said Jacob. "He can't go with you. Joseph is dead. Benjamin is Rachel's only son who is left. What if something happened to him? I would be sad for the rest of my life." No more wheat. Genesis chapter 43. Time passed, and Jacob's family ate up all the wheat. Still, no food was growing in their land. So Jacob called his sons. "Go back to Egypt," he said. "Buy some more food for us." "We can't do that," said Judah. "The man told us we must bring our youngest brother next time. We'll go back if you'll let Benjamin come, too. But if Benjamin can't come, we won't go." "Why did you tell him about Benjamin?" asked Jacob. "He asked us about our family," they said, "and we just answered his questions. How could we know he'd want to see Benjamin?" "Send Benjamin with me," said Judah. "We must go right away. If we don't, our families will die of hunger. I promise I will bring him back safely to you. We've waited so long to go to Egypt. We could have been there and back 2 times by now." "All right," said Jacob. "Then take some of the best gifts we have. Give them to this man. Take some honey and spices and nuts. Take 2 times as much money with you. Maybe it was put back into your bags by mistake. And take Benjamin too." So they took Benjamin and the money and the gifts. They headed for Egypt. And that's the end of our reading for today. Well, is that a cliffhanger or what? I hope you'll be excited to come back tomorrow and hear the rest of what happens with this part of the story. So we see that Jacob's sons were sent to Egypt. And when they got there, who did they have to bow down to? Joseph. And Joseph remembered his dreams. And at first he was a bit angry and he spoke unkindly to his brothers. He didn't want them to know that he had lived. But when they started to talk about their family and that they had remorse for what they had done to him, he started to cry. And even though it had been a long time, he was sad by that. And he decided to send them all back, except for one, to go back to their homeland with food. And he didn't even charge them for that food. He had each brother's money given back to him, and he even sent them with food for their trip back. And when we read tomorrow, maybe we will see why he wants to see Benjamin. Benjamin was his full brother. He was his mother's brother, his mother's son. So Jacob had 2 sons with Rachel, Benjamin and Joseph. And so this was the brother that he had grown up closest to. And he missed his younger brother, it sounds like. Well, that's all we have today. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you everybody tomorrow when we get back into the story. I'm so excited to read the next portion of the story, and I hope you're excited to hear about it. So, whether you are watching on YouTube or listening to my audio podcast, please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. And once you view the video, please click like on the video. It helps the video to get a little bit of attention and to help it get a little bit of popularity on YouTube if you take the time to click that like button for me. And I would appreciate it very much. If you know someone else who would be interested in reading along with the Bible this year, be sure and tell them about it. Let's help this event grow and spread the word about reading God's Word. I will see everybody tomorrow.